everybody. Thanks for taking the time off to join us for this short panel meeting. Um, as some of you already know, I'm very familiar with the process. Nick and Andrew, in particular, you've been with this process for a while, so you know the process. This year we've had 72 films entered, which is quite a good number. And in particularly this year, the shortlisting jury members have gone through all the films in the last few weeks. But we've seen that the shortlisted films have got a very strong entrance from the southern hemisphere this year. In contrast to what happened last year. Last year we had a lot of strong films which were shortlisted from the European region, US and Canada. This year, as a sharp contrast, we've got a lot of the shortlisted films have come from the Indian subcontinent and Australia. And we have a few films also from Europe and the UK, but we're seeing a very strong presence from the southern hemisphere. So I think this is reflective of the sort of reach and the global presence that the award is sort of now slowly starting to gather. So you know this very well, Nick and Andrew, that in the before this, in the prior years, 4 to 5 years, it was very Europe centric. But since the last 2 years, we've sort of now branched out. We're getting a lot of entries from US, Canada, Southern Hemisphere, and this year in particular, we've got very, very strong presence from there. And also, we are starting to get a lot of films from China as well, which has been sort of a dark space in terms of this kind of work. I mean, it could be
apparently a lot of wrecks along the coast here.
Starting to see interesting films from China.
It's a very famous hotel.
Although they haven't been shortlisted in some of the categories, but we are seeing films from there.
It's the only structure around here on this.
So today,
I didn't know they got permission to build it.
Sorry,
Hi guys, is everyone's sound okay? Because the sound for me is not so good.
Yeah, it's cutting off a little bit, Karma, the sound.
It's a bit soft.
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes up and down.
Okay. How is it now?
Not great. But we're all good lip readers, Karma, so we obviously understood everything.
That's true.
Is the sound
Cheryl
okay?
has also joined in. Hi, Cheryl.
How is the sound?
Hi, Seema. Thank you. Sorry, I thought it was 12 my time, but that's great. It's 11 now. That's fine.
Is the sound okay right now? Am I audible?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, better.
Great. So so quick summarization. We've had 72 films entered this year. We've had a very strong presence from the southern hemisphere this year. Last year we had a strong presence from US, Canada, UK, Europe. This year we've seen among the shortlisted films in particularly, we've got a strong presence from Australia and the Indian subcontinent. We're also seeing a lot of films coming in from China and some of these regions where earlier the awards had not reached out, and also now we're getting access to the kind of work that is happening in these regions. So the award it's moving to a sort of a more global footprint now. We're seeing the last few years now. So the next for half an hour, 40 minutes, what we'll do is Seema will run you through how the films are shortlisted and how you can go through now looking at these shortlisted films. This year, among the shortlisted films, what has happened is usually you would have 3 films in each category, but this year, because of the tight competition, there are a lot of the categories are 4 films in each category. It's also because they were tied. The last third films were tied in together with exact points. So you will have slightly more films to watch this year than the previous years. Seema will run you through the process. But first, I'd like to invite Mason to say a few words about the organization and what we've been doing in the past year and what we intend to. Mason, please.
Okay, thank you very much indeed, Karma. I think, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone for attending the meeting this morning. And then secondly, I'd like to thank all the jury members who have worked very hard and spent a lot of time in arriving at the shortlisted list. So, what I want to say is what happens next. Now that we've got the shortlisted films, we are pressing ahead with organizing the awards ceremony and the gala dinner, which will be held at the prestigious Merchant Taylors Hall in the City of London. I think some of you know that we have encountered problems with BAFTA, which as a change of the policy recently, they have said to us that we cannot hold our awards dinner there because they don't want anyone else holding any award ceremony at their venue except their own award ceremony. And it has had serious consequences for TVE because we've lost sponsors, we've lost a lot of sponsorship money. So that brings me to the next point, is the help that we need is that we could do with more sponsors, we can do with more people buying tables for the event, and we are also looking at suitable auction and raffle prices. I know that some of you will not be able to join us in person for the event, but if there's anything that you can help TVE with in the background or from where you are, that would be gratefully and very much appreciated. So thank you all once again for all your help with this year's GXFA shortlisting.
Karma?
With my audio and my camera today. Thank you very much, Ms. Sim. I'd like to now call upon Serena, our president and our trustee for the organization, and also the founder for the awards, to say a few words on the idea behind the awards and where we are at the moment. Serena, please.
Welcome, everybody. Good morning. And thank you for joining us. I think most of us by now are quite aware of the reason why the awards were set up. And this fight for the environment is huge. All of us need to participate in it. And this is our way of doing it, by recognizing films that are made on the environment. And I think, as we all know, it's like we must involve the younger generation as well in this debate. And for that reason, this year, our shortlist is going to be announced at the Montfort University. And Dr. Human, who's joined us and helped us for this, she's going to be there. And she's also got the Vice Chancellor of Sustainability and Dean of Health, Simon Oldroyd, Professor Simon Oldroyd, to be there and speak to us. So we are not just encouraging films for our event to be entered, we are also encouraging a lot of young people to get involved with the debate on the environment. Therefore, we are doing this shortlisting at a university, and lots of students are going to be there. So the idea behind setting up these awards is not just recognizing films. We are going much ahead now with our debate, involving young people, going to schools and showing these films. So I just wanted to add that. And I also, so I'm going to introduce the final jury members today. So our jury chair is Nick Nuttall. He's the International Strategic Communications Director of EarthDay.org and the climate action platform We Don't Have Time. Before this, he was spokesperson and director of communications for the Global Climate Action Summit in San Francisco. He was also first the director of communications and spokesperson for the UN Environment Program and then UN Climate Change. Nick started his career as a journalist, spending 12 years with the Times, and before that contributing to publications like the Daily Telegraph and the Independent. Welcome, Nick. Would you like to say a few words? Nick.
Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, so I'm coming in live here from Alicante in Spain, and it's very exciting to know that we have another year of the Global Sustainability, what a mouthful, the Global Sustainability Film Awards, yeah. There's really not a lot I'm going to add. I think some of the jury members here have been with us before, which is absolutely fantastic. I see Andrew there, for example. For those that don't really know, there's not really a lot to add. I mean, there's a moment at which you have to come and judge these films, the shortlisted ones, which the team have kindly done for us. And we will have a meeting and we will see how they've been rated by our colleagues. And then if there's any tension between certain films that rank very similarly, then we'll have an honest and free discussion on how we can resolve that to find a winner. I don't know whether there was any change in the rules this year. Maybe somebody could just advise, but I presume it's very similar to the last time, where we look for one winner in each category, and exceptionally we might just award 2 films as equal winners, but we try to avoid that. Yeah, I think that's about it really, and looking forward to meeting the other members of the jury in that final meeting that we will have when we've all rated the films that we've seen.
Thank you. Thank you. And now I'll introduce Andrew Wilson. Andrew is a highly experienced director with professional expertise in sustainability, strategy, corporate responsibility, and business purpose. He has 25 years experience advising C-suite executives in sectors including FMCG, healthcare, consumer electronics, automotive, and retail, working with companies across Europe, USA, Japan, Korea, China, India, Russia, and Brazil. He currently works as an independent consultant, helping clients to develop and implement corporate strategies that deliver their commercial goals aligned with social and environmental success. Hello, Andrew. Would you like to say hello?
Hi, yes, good morning. Thank you very much for that, Serena. And it's great to reconnect with so many of you and to meet some new faces on the judging panel. I'll keep my comments brief. It's always a delight to support TVE in the Global Sustainability Film Awards. I have done so for a number of years now in various, including being part of the team that does the shortlisting, through to actually one year I was really on the awards ceremony for that year. So it's a great organization. The work that we do collectively is so important in communicating how sustainability can bring positive change both to the environment and to society. And as always, very enthusiastic to participate again this year.
Thank you, Andrew. Now I'll introduce Cheryl. Cheryl Ali, are you here? She joined us, right?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Hi. Hi, Cheryl. With a background in news and passion for documentary storytelling, she has produced, directed, and written for various international news channels and NPOs covering human interest stories across Africa, Asia, and Middle East, from Brazil to Rwanda and Afghanistan. She has launched 3 TV channels for MultiChoice Africa in Angola, South Africa, and Zambia. For the past 3 years, she was director of the MultiChoice Talent Factory, launching 3 film academics for MultiChoice in Nigeria, Zambia, and Kenya, supporting the development of young, passionate filmmakers across the African continent. She continues to focus on media that matters. Hi, Cheryl.
Hi, thank you very much. Thanks, Serena. Yeah, so hi, everyone. This year, I have extended an invitation to Njoki Mohoho from Kenya. She was our Academy Director at the MultiChoice Talent Factory. She is passionate about all things environment. At the moment, she is in where are you, Njoki? I think she's in Germany. Yes. But we'll be heading back to Kenya. I think we'll hear a little bit about from her. She's also on the jury for the Emmys, and I just thought she'd be fantastic to have more African participation on at the GF Global, yeah, GFSA. And then I've also would like to introduce Pat van Heerden. Pat van Heerden is currently the head of SABC3, which is the biggest, the largest feature air channel in South Africa. And Pat is a documentary filmmaker, has been nominated for Emmys, has also been on the Emmy jury. And yeah, I think it would be a fantastic contribution and addition to our panel. That's it from me. Thank you very much. Looking forward to watching.
I'll introduce them again. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So I'll start with Joki Moho. How do you pronounce it?
Yeah, you pronounce it right. Pronounce it right.
Moho.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sitting on the floor in a corridor. So I just had to move a bit away to let somebody pass. Sorry, I'm attending a conference in Deutsche Welle in Germany. And unfortunately, there are schedules that are changing a lot. So like now they just told me I have to do a presentation in a few minutes time. So I'm kind of running helter-skelter. So let me first apologize for that. It will come across as being disorganized, but I didn't want to miss this because the whole week I'm in this rat race of not really knowing where I'm supposed to be at what time. So my name is Joki Moho. I'm from Kenya. I'm a content producer. I produced a lot for DSTV. I'm actually in the middle of probably the biggest and the most watched TV series back at home. 260 episodes of a telenovela. I believe today we are shooting episode 190 something. And I'm also a management consultant with 32 years experience with a Pricewaterhouse background. So I'm a dual career personality. And even here with DW, when they started producing an Africa program on environment called Eco Africa, I was involved in the initial stages of it, and I even helped them produce a couple of episodes. So I believe a lot in the environment as well. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. It's good to have you. Welcome to the group.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Patricia Van Herden, are you here? Patricia?
She was here. I think she got disconnected.
Oh, she brought the others on.
The one who was in car.
Okay, I'll wait to introduce her. I'll introduce Massimiliano. Are you here, Massimiliano?
Massimiliano and Denise both are not here.
Okay, but in any case, Massimiliano is the reporter and artistic director of Life After Oil, International Film Festival. Almost a decade ago, he released his investigative documentary on a refinery in southern Sardinia. And, you know, it was actually called Life After Oil, his film. So he started a whole film festival with that name. And it happens every year in Sardinia. I've been invited a couple of times to go on the jury. And he's absolutely amazing. He has such a huge number of films that are submitted to his festival. They are also on the environment. And Denise Parkinson is not here. She usually also is on the jury of the Founders Award. And she's the Global Entertainment Director at One Football. Additionally, Denise Parkinson has had 5 past jobs, including Global Entertainment Director at Telegraph Media Group, also Marketing Director at the Walt Disney Company, Entertainment Director at Yahoo, over 25 years experience in film sales, marketing, media sales, PR, events, and promotions. Sorry, Denise couldn't be here. I think we've introduced everybody now. And thank you, and back to Karma.
Thank you, Serena, and welcome to all the jury members. I'm sure you will have a interesting few weeks to watch these films, the nominated films. In terms of this, there's one little thing which I wanted to just to let the final jury members just to alert you that this year, along with, like as Serena had mentioned earlier, that we are also trying to involve not just get the film entries, but also we're trying to involve a lot of young people in our different projects. So one of the projects that we have which has been long running for now 11 years, is called Biomovies Project. The Biomovies Project was involving young people, enabling young people to make their own short films on various topics which could affect them locally in their areas. And then we would try and project these ideas and solutions to wider audiences. The young people were, the age group was between the 15 years old till about 30 years old. But this year we've tried to see what is the kind of ideas that even younger people have So we initiated a project with this called the Schools Project, where we are going to taking TVs, films to various schools across. Initially, we're starting with London, but we are hoping to replicate this project in India, in South Africa, in Brazil, and also in China and Australia. What we are doing is we're going to even younger children, taking our films to these schools. The age of these children are between the ages of 9 to 12 years old children. Showing them some of the films that we've made over the years, and then also trying to help them make their own films, because a lot of kids have access to mobile phones and iPads, and they are much more in tune with the technology these days. So we are giving them specific topics again around sustainability ideas, around environmental ideas. For us, it's just an idea to understand from their perspective, what do they make about these larger issues that they keep hearing in the news and in media. So the project, at the moment, the project is ongoing. The children are in fact, as we speak right now, they're working on the scripts, and they're going to be making very short films, 1 or 2 minute films. We would request all the jury members, the films will be completed. There'll be about 12 films. These films each range in between 2 to 3 minutes. They'll be completed by the second week of November. We'll send the films over to you. We'd request if you could have a look at these films, and then maybe judge, give them a rating of these films, and then we will try and call the winning 2, maybe the first 3 films to the award as well, just to give them a recognition. And also, I think we believe that this could be an interesting data point for us as well over the years to collect, understand from even younger audiences, what do they make about these issues. But going back to the main awards, I'd now move on to Seema, who will run you through the process. I'm sure most of you are already aware of the Film Freeway, the site. It's quite interactive and quite easy to judge films through that. So Seema, on to you.
Thank you, Karma. Hello, everyone. First of all, thank you so much for joining in this meeting and showing interest in judging the shortlisted films. So on behalf of the entire team, once again, I would like to welcome you all on the final judging panel of Global Sustainability Film Awards. Except for Joki and Patricia, all of you are well aware of the entire process, which includes the award categories and the judging criteria. So what I'll do is I won't waste a lot of time on describing the categories that we have, because on Film Freeway also you can read the description. Plus I had already emailed you the descriptions. What I'll again do is I'll send you the brief paragraph about each of the categories. So it would be clearer from there. What I would like to do is I would like to start with the deadlines that we had and we have in future. So the deadline to submit was 7th of October. And as Karma mentioned, initially we received 72 films from more than 20 countries. And the deadline to submit your ratings would be 12th of November. And we'll share the shortlisted films to you on 28th of October, because on 28th of October, we are announcing the shortlist. The discussion on the winning films would be held on 16th of November. We can have a discussion around the date, because in my initial email, I asked for 16th of November, but I'm not sure if 1 or 2 of you would be able to join. But for this discussion meeting, we really want to have all of you to be present for the meeting. So in case you want to defer it by a day or 2, that is also fine with us. But I'll send you a separate email regarding that. And please send confirmation. And in any case, we cannot not able to have 1 or 2 of you missing in that meeting. So we would need all of you to be present for that final discussion meeting. And please do submit your ratings by 12th of November, because then I'll do all the calculations and share the ratings with you all before that meeting. Okay. I'll go directly to the judging process now, because I am skipping the category description part here. So the eligibility criteria for all the films this year has been the same as we had in the previous years. So the time duration for the short films is 15 minutes, but we have given them a buffer of 10 to 12 minutes each. So they can range up to a maximum of 25 minutes. It's only for the documentary impact category, which is specifically for the longer duration films. They are above 30 minutes. The all films, they are supposed to be in English, or they need to have English subtitles. Therefore, please ensure when you are watching the films that you have switched on the CC button, that is the subtitle option, on the Film Freeway platform. The last criteria was that the film should have been made in the past 3 years, and they should have to focus on a certain SDG goal, and they must cover one of the 17 goals in them. The judging process is very simple. As a final jury member, you will receive shortlisted film from the 5 categories that we had. Although, as Karma mentioned, that a few categories have 4 shortlisted films because they had very similar ratings. But unlike last year, you'll be viewing lesser number of films because this year we had lesser number of categories compared to the past 2-3 years. So 5 categories, and in total you will be judging 17 shortlisted films. You will be judging the films on the Film Freeway platform. It's the same platform where we receive the shortlisted films. And it's a very simple platform. And Vinay, my colleague, later on will demonstrate the entire process to you all. What we'll also do is we'll send a recorded video of the same so that in case you have any confusion on how to rate the films, you can view the video that we'll share with you. So the judging process has been divided into 3 parts. The first part is you'll be viewing the film. Second is you will all need to read the information which is provided by all the submitters, and it's given in the form of a custom form. So when Vinay will start demonstrating, he will also show you what custom form is. And the third is rating the film, which we'll do a demo later on. The judging at this stage would be an individual process because we need your unbiased opinion. But later on, once I have received your ratings, the jury chair, Nick Nuttall, will actually lead the meeting, and we will have a discussion around the films, and we'll try to come up with only one winner from each category. And as Nick mentioned earlier, that we'll try to find only one winner from each category instead of 2, and we'll see that how it goes. Now I'll come to the judging criteria. So like every year, and Karma and the team has been mentioning this again and again, that GSFA are a very unique award. It is both a film and a sustainability award. So the films which are submitted are just based both on the storytelling creativity, but also on the like how well and how credible and impactfully they are bringing out the impact of sustainability. For example, we'll look at is whether the content is relevant. Has there been filming made in such a way that it is believable and it is making some kind of impact on the ground? It's affecting people's behavior or their thinking. So based on that, we have five judging criteria. Is there some disturbance?
That's okay, go on.
Okay, so there are 5 judging criteria that we have. The first one is sustainability relevance. So this criteria talks about, like, does the film address a relevant or important sustainable development goal as given by the UN? And does the film effectively depict a relevant solution? The second criteria is creative execution, which deals with how effective the creative and technical execution of the entered films is. Typically, the cinematic techniques that were used by the submitter. Third one is engagement, which is very important because this talks about that how effective or overall was the film storytelling, both emotionally and intellectually, and could it engage the target audience. The fourth criteria is credibility, which talks about, like, whether the films were believable. Do the solutions or the initiative depicted reflect credible sustainability solutions, or they are just fancy and not based on current practices, and they do not have a potential to drive any kind of change. The last criteria is impact. So this is about, are the films powerful enough to deliver its message to the target audience? And did it achieve its intended impact? For example, could it bring in any behavior change, or could it shift any opinion, or some kind of action was taken based on the film? The other thing is the custom form, which I mentioned in the beginning. So this is a form which is filled by every submitter. So Here they provide you the additional information like about their film, what was their objective behind making it, what was the typical target audience, and what is the desired impact. And under this form, you'll find one section which is called evidence of impact. So here the submitters, what they try to do is put down what they feel the impact of their film is, or what can be the impact of their film. So other than visualizing your own impact, you can actually read their evidence of impact while you are rating the film. Now I'd come to the rating process. So we are not actually ranking the films here. We are rating them on the 5 criteria. Each criteria is from 1 to 10, where 10 is the highest and the best. And for each category, you'll receive 3 to 4 films. And in one category, there is actually only 2 films. So for the uniformity of the judging process, I would like to request you that if you think that a film is excellent and it's wonderful, then you please give it a rating between 9 to 10. If something is like good for you, then 7 to 8. And average, we can go for 5 to 6. Anything below 5 is like not up to mark for any of the criteria. So while you are rating the films, you do not have to actually fill in the average rating because it would be automatically calculated and sent to us by the platform. Other than this, there is also overall rating, and you can always ignore it because we are anyways not looking at the overall rating. We are going to calculate on basis of the 5 criteria and the rating that you have done. So you can skip the overall rating part as well. And in addition to this, while you have rated on all the 5 criteria, you'll find a small column at the bottom. So what you can do is you can leave your qualitative comments, which we can actually use while we are discussing on the winning films during our final meeting, and we can look up at those comments at that meeting. So it is like an individual thing. If you wish to leave any comments, you can, otherwise you can skip that part. And right below there would be a green button. You can just press it and your ratings would be saved. And if you ever feel or face any problem, you can always contact me or my colleague Vinay. So what Vinay will now do is he'll demonstrate the judging process to you all. And as I mentioned, we'll share the video with you all again, so that if you have any problem, you can view the video and recheck, or if there is any problem, just let us know.
I think Cheryl has a question. She raised hand.
Okay. Yeah, Cheryl.
Sorry, no, that was about Pat when she wasn't able to come on, but I see she's on now. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I can see Massimiliano is also here. Hi, Massimiliano, but I'm sure you are, you know the drill. You have been here for the past 2 years. It's mainly Joki and Patricia. So in case Joki and Patricia, you have any questions about the rating process or anything else, just let me know. Or I'll now let Vinay finish the process. And if you have any questions after that, you both can ask us.
Thanks, good so far.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, hello. So this is the demo on how to rate films on the Film Freeway page. Film Freeway is a user-friendly application, so rating film on this platform is not complex at all. Each one of you would receive an email from the Film Freeway, and the subject of the mail would read that you have been granted permission to a Film Freeway account. So all you have to do is go to this mail and click on this link. So once you're here, so after you've clicked it, you'll be automatically redirected to the login page. On this page, you would be asked to create a user account by adding a password. So once you have entered the password of your choice, click update password. After you have clicked that, you'll be finally redirected to the Film Freeway page, and the page would show you all the films that you're supposed to watch and rate. These are the shortlisted films from all the categories. So you'll have to watch each of these films one by one. Let me show you an example. Suppose you go to this film named World Refill Day. Once you've clicked, the page would show all the essential details about the film here. Film Freeway page has a built-in video player, but there are some filmmakers who have given the YouTube or Vimeo link instead. In either case, the film will show up here. Just click this play video button and the film would start playing. So once you're finished watching, just scroll down and you would find all the necessary information about the film, the credits, the film specifications, and the custom form. As Seema mentioned, custom form is very important. This form was filled in by the filmmaker himself while submitting his or her film to the GSFA. So you can read the information here. So after you have read all the essential information about the film, scroll further down the page, you would see the Rate Project button here. So click this button and the rating page would pop up. As you can see here, the judging form will show 5 criteria based upon which you have to rate the film. You'll have to rate the film on the scale of 10. One thing to note here is that you do not need to give an overall rating. We'll use the average rating and not the overall rating. The average score will be calculated automatically at the bottom. Yeah. So you can avoid giving the overall rating. Also, if you feel like adding any additional comments or remarks about the film, you're free to do so. It is not compulsory as such, but optional. State your remarks in this box. After giving the ratings or scores according to each of the criteria, submit your rating by clicking this button here. There is one more thing. There can be an instance where a filmmaker has submitted a password protected film. This one right here. So in that case, you would find the password just below the film link. Suppose this is the password protected film, then you would find the password right here, just below the film, copy and paste it above in this space. Once you've entered the password, then you can easily play the film. Yeah, there's another thing. One of the filmmakers has given a link to his film instead of uploading it directly on the Film Freeway page. Unfortunately, this link is not working in some of the countries. In this case, you can find this film on the YouTube page. So copy the name of the film and paste it in the YouTube search box and the film would appear. Yeah, and it will be easily done. Okay, so that's it, Seema.
Yeah, actually, this particular film is not available only in the UK region, I believe. And as Vinay said, you can view it on YouTube, but you'll be able to rate it on Film Freeway platform. So the rating could be still done on Film Freeway platform. You don't have to send it to me via email. So that's it. Yeah. Any questions? Anyone? So you are muted.
I just want to welcome Massimiliano because he wasn't here when I was introducing him. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
I'm sorry, very sorry, but I was busy with my mom. She had the problem, so I need to go to the doctor. That's why, because I was already online.
No, I just wanted to say hello and your any tips you want to share from your film festival with us.
But the thing that I can say, if I have to be a jury member instead of being an artistic director of a film festival, I can say that what we look usually for us, it's important if it's a first-time filmmaker, mostly, because I think young generation are the future. We need to share all those problems with them. Otherwise, I think it will. I think in 100 years they will say that we smoke our planet when they will study this period of our history. That's what I think, and also the age of the filmmaker. Yeah. So if is a first-time filmmaker, is well shot in terms of cinematography, and is also director very well. So that will be probably a next filmmaker around the world. That's what I think as a jury member.
Okay. Thank you, Massimiliano.
Thank you.
Yes, carry on. Any questions for Seema or for Vinay?
I think it's pretty simple because I don't think any shortlisting jury member also faced any problem. It was only regarding this link which was not available in the UK. So we are telling you about that in advance. Although if you want us to share you the YouTube link, that can also be done. You just ask Vinay or me if you are unable to find that. But yeah, but just be careful about the deadline because I have to do a lot of calculations and then a lot of emails, and I would need those 2-3 days if we are doing the meeting on the 16th. So I would need the scores by 12th night.
Okay, Karma, you can take over.
Thank you very much, Seema. And thank you to all the jury members who've taken your precious time out to just go through the little process with us. And we look forward to, seeing your final films. And then also, I do hope that you can give some time about, we mentioned about young people. Masimrana just mentioned that we need to encourage young people. So like I mentioned earlier, we are really starting a project with even younger people. So there are these 9 to 12-year-old kids who are making these short films. So we'll be sending these films to you. Please have a look at them and judge them on their filmmaking skills and also on the messaging that they want to put across. I think I think that'll be a real fun process for you as well to see, their ideas, what's coming out of there. But good luck with the process, and I do hope you will enjoy the films. I do know that there are some films which are really good quality this year, especially in the documentary category. The quality of the films are really, really top notch this year. So happy viewing, and thank you very much for your time. If there are any further questions, we are always available at your disposal. Seema is there, I'm there, Vinay is there. If there's anything in between, please just, send us an email, just, or you can just give us a WhatsApp message as well. But yeah,
I think just one last thing. I think Joki had a question. She's asked me, do you have short profiles of all the jury members? Yes, we do. But Joki, we didn't read yours because you introduced yourself. So therefore, I think I omitted her short profile. Joki, are you there?
Yeah, she's there.
Okay. Do you want, shall I read it? I'm just thinking, because she's
I think she wants us to send them. I have told them that I'll send it to her because I have all the short bios of everyone.
Okay, so she wants the others' bios. Okay, I think send everybody the bios of all the jury members.
Yeah, I'll do that. Anyways, after 29, they would also be available on the website. It's just that at the moment we cannot make it public.
Yeah.
So
what we'll do is once you have just the films, and once the films are announced, the shortlisted the films are announced, we will have your names out on our website, and also we'll start highlighting all your profiles on our social media as well.
Yes.
And day after our event is on the in Neste. So
yes.
If anybody is around and wants to attend, you're almost welcome.
Yeah, so this year we're changing the format slightly. Every year we would announce the shortlist films online, but this year, because we're partnering with a university as well at the De Montfort University in Leicester, so we're doing a physical announcement of the shortlisted films this year. Okay, any questions that you might have? Anything else? Well, otherwise, we are always, you can always follow up us on our emails.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very